Hey everybody, it's Chad Hasty, host of the Chad Hasty Show, which airs weekday mornings, 8:30 to 11 a.m. Central Time on News Talk 95.1 FM and 790 a.m. KFYO. One of the big issues that eluded President Trump during his first 100 days in office was the signature key piece of legislation repealing and replacing Obamacare. According to Politico, this might be the week that we see a repeal and replace bill from the House. And in fact, the headline from Politico says GOP faces make or break moment on Obamacare repeal. House Republican leaders and White House officials are increasingly confident about passing their long-stalled Obamacare replacement bill. More lawmakers than ever are now committed to voting yes, they say, and GOP insiders insist that they're within striking distance of a majority. The window of opportunity for Speaker Paul Ryan and his leadership team is closing fast, though. According to Politico, the House is scheduled to leave town for a one-week recess on Thursday because, they've worked so hard in Washington, D.C. the last week or so. Republicans worry that failing to get it done by Thursday could scare away and end a critical moment. Skittish Republicans would return home to face pressure from Democrats and progressives outside their districts. This also was interesting. Some White House officials and senior Republicans are advising Speaker Paul Ryan and his top lieutenants to cancel the recess if needed and to keep the House in session until they have the votes. A lot of reporting here that it looks like that this vote could happen this week. It's going to be interesting to see what happens. Obviously, they've already had one failed attempt at it. Then there were the rumors that we could have another attempt last week, and the votes just weren't there last week. Will they be there this week? It seems the more that the bill gets conservative, the moderates back off. And then once the bill swings to a more moderate stance, the conservatives back off of their support. I think something needs to get done. Something needs to get done soon, but it needs to be the right thing. It needs to be a good piece of legislation for Americans, and it needs to be a good piece of legislation for Republicans. I will say this, Republicans and their chances in 2018 and further all hinge on Obamacare and the replacement of Obamacare. President Trump has got to get out there and really sell this to the American people, especially some conservatives who just wanted this whole thing repealed. There's been some back and forth about whether or not everyone with a pre-existing condition will be covered. In the House plan that has been debated lately, there would be some lapse in that. However, President Trump says, no, everybody needs to be covered. Now, what we may see is kind of a hybrid of the two, where if you have a pre-existing condition, you have insurance now, you're fine. You're going to be covered. When you sign up for new plans, you will be covered. If you allow your insurance to lapse or you decide, hey, I don't need insurance, then pre-existing conditions may not be covered. Something that people need to take a look at. People should not be forced to buy insurance, and insurance that is unaffordable, and that's what people are having to do right now. So, what does the future look like for the Republican replacement of Obamacare? Who knows? But we need to know this. If the vote's going to happen this week, then we should know within the next 24 hours or so what the bill is going to look like. So that way the American people know what the bill looks like. How will it be scored by CBO? Is this something that will truly bring down premiums? It's a question that we need to know before they vote on it. We heard from Nancy Pelosi before on Obamacare. We have to pass the bill. Before we know what's in it. Republicans should not go down that road. Tune in to the Chad Hasty Show weekday mornings, 8:30 to 11 a.m. Central Time on News Talk 95.1 FM and 790 a.m. KFYO. Also follow me on Twitter, Chad Hasty Radio. Have a great day. We'll talk later here on YouTube.